We all know Matt Armstrong as the guy who can take a pile of scrap metal and turn it into a masterpiece with nothing but grit and a toolkit. Music. He's the ultimate legend of the car world, and his passion for saving unfixable cars has made us all feel like we're right there in the garage with him. But his latest project has hit a massive, heartbreaking roadblock. The man who usually has a smile on his face was recently seen in tears. And it's not because of a mechanical failure or a broken engine. Rumors are swirling that Bugatti has hit him with a staggering $19.2 million lawsuit regarding his latest project, and the emotional toll on Matt is clear to see. So why exactly was he hit with a $19.2 million lawsuit? Join us as we dive into the details. The qualifying run that changed everything. How a dislocated shoulder birthed a legend. Before he was a king of the salvage yard, Matt Armstrong was just a kid in Leicester, England. Born on June 11, 1993, with grease already under his fingernails. He didn't learn about engines from a textbook. He learned by watching his dad Tony tear them apart in the family garage. While other kids were playing with toys, Matt was absorbing the mechanical DNA that would eventually, make him a legend. Life wasn't always a smooth ride, though. His parents split up when he was young. But Matt stayed grounded, heading to Lutterworth College and even trying his hand at real estate through the BRR strategy. He was a guy chasing financial freedom. But before he found it in a toolkit, he found it on two wheels. Long before the YouTube millions, Matt was a professional BMX rider, flying through the air in freestyle comps across Europe and Dubai. He was good enough to snag sponsorships from brands like Mad Gear Pro. And it was actually BMX that taught him how to pick up a camera. He started filming his stunts to show off to sponsors, unknowingly building the editing skills that would later break the internet. But the pro athlete life is a brutal one. Despite the travel, the sponsorships barely covered his flights and the income was non-existent. Then came the crash that changed everything. During a qualifying run at the BMX World Championships in Germany, Matt dislocated his shoulder so badly it ended his career at just 20 years old. That one injury could have been the end of his story. Instead, it was the spark. Forced to hang up the bike, Matt pivoted back to his roots in the garage, trading the handlebars for a wrench and turning a career-ending heartbreak into the most successful automotive channel on the planet. But while a broken shoulder closed the door on his BMX dreams, a broken car was about to open a window into a multi-million-pound future. It turned out that the same grit he used to land backflips was exactly what he needed to turn a pile of scrap metal into a viral sensation. The Audi blueprint. Why Hannah's accident was the best thing for Matt's career. When Matt Armstrong first hit the upload button back in April 2013, he wasn't looking to become an automotive titan. At the time, his world revolved around the adrenaline of BMX tricks and the rush of athletic competition. But behind the scenes, Matt was a man of many hats, music, and even more side hustles. To fuel his passion for riding and mechanics, he was doing whatever it took to keep his pockets full. We're talking about a guy who was delivering food, pulling pints behind a bar, and working retail shifts in tuning shops, all while soaking up every bit of mechanical wisdom he could at his father Tony's music garage. This wasn't just a series of part-time jobs. It was a masterclass in grit, giving him the practical skills that would eventually make him the most dangerous man with a wrench on the internet. The real shift, the moment that changed the trajectory of his life, came from a place of total chaos, when his girlfriend Hannah's Audi TT was smashed in a nasty crash. Most people would have called the insurance company and walked away. Not Matt. He saw a salvage title and a massive opportunity. He bought the wreck, rolled it into the garage, and decided to document the entire rebuild from start to finish. That Audi TT wasn't just a car. It was the birth of a brand. It established the high-stakes all-in format we've come to love, buying the cars nobody else wants and bringing them back from the dead right before our eyes. By the time the COVID-19 pandemic locked the world down, Matt was ready to shift gears into the big leagues. He snagged a damaged Bentley Continental GT. A move that felt like a massive gamble at the time, but it paid off in a way nobody expected. That project blew the doors off his channel, growing his audience at a breakneck pace and proving that he could handle luxury hypercars just as well as street races. But don't think, for a second that this was just a lucky break. Matt's success is built on a work ethic that, would break most people. In those early days, he was juggling his YouTube dreams with a grueling 9 to 5, often spending his music nights covered in oil and his mornings editing until his eyes bled. He treated YouTube like a serious profession long before it actually paid the bills. He committed to a schedule that ran like clockwork, dropping new episodes every week or two to keep his viewers hooked on the drama of the build.
That consistency eventually caught the eye of some heavy hitters. Imagine the feeling when the Grand Tour's own Richard Hammond reacts to your work. That kind of shout-out is music, like hitting the nitro button on your growth. Once his YouTube income finally surpassed his day job, Matt didn't slow down. He doubled down. In late 2019, he took the ultimate leap of faith and went full-time as a creator. It's a bet that has clearly paid off. As of March 2026, he's sitting on a main channel with over 6.3 million subscribers and views in the high hundreds of millions. But what really makes the Matt Armstrong experience feel different from every other car channel is the heart behind the horsepower. Matt isn't a lone wolf vlogger hiding behind a camera. He's brought us into his family. His partner Hannah Smith and his dad Tony aren't just cameos. They are the soul of the story. Tony Armstrong, the man who taught Matt everything he knows about engines and winging it during a tough repair, is a fan favorite for a reason. Their bond is the real deal. You could see the raw emotion when they teamed up to rebuild a Ferrari F430 as a heartfelt gift, or in 2025 when Matt returned the favor by buying a flood-damaged Aston Martin DBX and restoring it for his dad. That video alone racked up over 6 million views because people don't just come for the talk. They come for the family. Even with the massive success, Matt has kept his feet on the ground. He's diversified his empire into property investment and merchandise, ensuring the Matt Armstrong name is about more than just ad revenue. He's shown every aspiring creator out there that you don't have to do it alone. By involving his mates, his family, and his partner in every music, tricky fix and test drive, he's created a warm, relatable vibe that turns viewers into fans and fans into family. He's gone from a BMX rider with a broken shoulder to a global automotive icon, proving once and for all that with enough grit, a little help from your dad and a toolkit, you can rebuild anything, including your own destiny. But the secret to his success isn't just the tools he uses. It's the way he talks to the camera. Matt doesn't act like a superstar who knows everything. He acts like a mate who's willing to get his hands dirty and make mistakes right in front of us. Just a regular guy. Why Matt's lack of pretension is automotive gold. In a world of overly polished influences and scripted reality, Matt Armstrong is the breath of fresh air the car community desperately needed. While most creators are trying to hide their mistakes, Matt is right there in his bio, telling us he's just a regular guy winging it. He's not a master technician with a wall of certifications. He's a guy with an angle grinder, a massive dream, and zero fear of failure. This total lack of pretension is pure gold. When Matt hits a roadblock or snaps a bolt, he doesn't edit it out. He lets us feel the frustration right along with him. That emotional transparency is exactly why even people who don't know a spark plug from a piston are rooting for him. We've all been there, knee-deep in a DIY project that's going south. And seeing a legend like Matt struggle makes us feel like we're part of the team. But don't let the winging it attitude fool you. Matt is a master storyteller. Even though his videos can run for nearly an hour, fans are glued to their screens for every single second. He doesn't just show you how to fix a car. He takes you on a high-stakes journey. Every project is a saga filled with villains in the form of seized engines and heroes in the form of creative last-minute fixes. Whether he's rebuilding a mangled Audi or a high-end Lamborghini, he structures it like a movie. The dramatic, I bought a wreck opening, the grueling middle chapters, where everything seems lost, and the epic roaring finale of the first drive. It's that narrative arc, the wreck-to-redemption story that keeps millions of people coming back for more. Matt has moved from simple sports cars to headline-grabbing hypercars that most people wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. The world stood still in 2024 when he dropped 184,000 pounds on a Total Mansa Rolls-Royce Wraith formerly owned by Manchester United star Marcus Rashford. It was a 750,000 pounds car reduced to a pile of scrap, and the entire internet thought he'd finally bitten off more than he could chew. But Matt's grit turned it into his most iconic series yet. He documented every music, painful step, and the story got so big that Rashford's own team reached out to help, sending over spare keys and custom parts to ensure the build was authentic. When that Rolls-Royce finally purred back to life, Matt didn't just drive it around the block. He took it on a triumphant road trip across Europe all the way back to the Mansef factory in Germany. Seeing the original designer's jaws drop at what a guy in a garage had achieved was the ultimate payoff. It proved that Matt isn't just doing this for clout. He's doing it for the craft. He's in there turning the wrenches himself, proving that with enough blood, sweat, and tears, no car is truly unfixable. Matt Armstrong's rise is more than just a success story. It's a blueprint, music, for anyone with a passion. He took a niche hobby like salvage rebuilding and turned it into global entertainment by focusing on the human element. He showed us that music, don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real. From a BMX rider with a career-ending injury to the man who saved a Manchester United superstar's Rolls-Royce, Matt has proven that his greatest build wasn't a car at all. It was the incredible community he built along the way. But as his garage grew, so did the size of his targets, eventually leading him to a showdown with the most exclusive car brand on earth. Taking on the giants. How one man with a toolkit challenged a hypercar empire. It was October 2025 when the car world stopped spinning. Rumors started flying about a $6 million Bugatti Chiron Sport that had been absolutely totaled in Miami. The owner, Alex Gonzalez, was looking at a $1.7 million repair bill from insurance, a number so high that the car was officially written off and sent to the graveyard of the elite. A cup art salvage auction. Most people saw a crumpled mess of carbon fiber and a stay away sign. But Matt Armstrong, music, saw the ultimate challenge. He didn't just want to fix it. He wanted to prove that a guy with a toolkit could do what the factory said was impossible. The front end was a total disaster. Crumpled metal, deployed airbags, and a shopping list of parts that would make a billionaire sweat. We're talking about the iconic horseshoe grille, the hood, the wings, music, and those signature headlights all smashed to bits. But the moment Matt got that Bugatti back to the UK, the corporate hammer dropped. Bugatti didn't just decline to help. They locked the VIN. That meant no dealership on the planet would sell him so much as a bolt for the car. Then things got personal. Bugatti CEO Matt Armstrong entered the comments sections, music, and social media, calling out Matt's claims and setting the internet on fire. When Matt talked about using 3D printed parts to get the hypercar back on its feet, Armstrong shut it down, saying it couldn't be done safely and that the parts, music, prices floating around the web were totally inflated. He even offered to let Matt bring the car to the Bugatti facility in Molsheim for a check over, but Matt stood, music, his ground. He knew that if the car went back to France, it would be stripped down and the cost would balloon until it was basically a paperweight. I've got no chance but to try and get this car back on the road my own way, he told his fans. And that's, music, exactly what he did. With the official parts counter slammed shut, Matt and his music team started getting creative. We're talking about sourcing airbags from an Audi A3 and having custom radiators built from scratch to replace the destroyed units. It was pure unfiltered engineering grit. They had to bring the coolant, fuel, intercooler, and ECU systems all back from the dead. It was a massive gamble, especially since the car had been driven without coolant after the crash. A move that usually spells certain death for an engine. But against all the odds, they hit the button and that W16 roared back to life for the first time. But the journey was far from smooth. At one point, eagle-eyed viewers thought they spotted a hairline crack on the chassis that could have turned the car into, music, a 300 miles per hour death trap. These fine cracks can lead to catastrophic failure at high speeds, and the rumor mill went into overdrive. Matt had to get under the car to investigate, only to find out it was just some residue and date left on the underside. Then came the big one, the transmission. Matt Armstrong himself, music, said only 2 places in the world could handle splitting the Chiron's modular design to access a damaged gearbox. Matt's response: he grabbed his tools and did it right there in the garage. As it transpired, all it took was a removal of various bolts to split the modular design. He separated the transmission from the main block while the CEO of Bugatti literally watched the project, Music, unfold from afar. With Bugatti refusing to help, Matt knew this task wasn't going to be easy. But by the time the interior was being rebuilt and the custom radiators were installed, the progress was undeniable. As of early 2026, the car is a masterpiece in the making. The controversy hasn't gone away. Music, and the back and forth between a solo creator and a hypercar giant has generated millions of views and massive headlines. Matt remains undeterred, proving that even when the manufacturer locks the doors, a bit of passion and a lot of winging it can keep the dream alive. Whether you think he's a hero or brand risk, Matt Armstrong has taken the world's most unfixable car and turned it into the most legendary rebuild we've ever seen. He's not music, just fixing a Bugatti. He's taking on the entire corporate world, one bolt at a time. And we are all right there in the passenger seat watching history happen. But while the wrenches were turning, the real battle was being fought in the music boardroom.